Hi, it's Rupert Hine here from Action Coach near Kinroth in Scotland, and I'm joined today by Melody Ford from Melucia Home Care. Welcome, Melody.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
So, tell us, Melody, who or what are Melucia Home Care?
We are a domiciliary care provider. Our staff go to people's homes and look after older people in the comfort of their own homes. So I've started a business back in 2017, and during pandemic, I franchised it. So in the hope of expanding the network and having a bunch of like-minded people working together as a team and helping each other and support each other. So that's what we do.
Fantastic. And you've been running the business providing home care for what, nearly 10 years now?
I went into care in 2011, but I started my own business in 2017. Um, and I had the business for 8 years, and I recently sold it back in April to another gentleman. And during pandemic, I franchised the business. And basically, I sold my own branch because I wanted to purely concentrate on building the brand. I couldn't do both of them were very time consuming and full-time jobs, so I couldn't really do both properly. So since April, I work as a franchisor full time. Before that, I had one of the branches in Edinburgh. So the branch in Edinburgh is 8 years old.
Yeah. And what
Yes.
what took you into to home care in the first place? Because am I right in thinking you're an engineer by training?
Oh, yes. So just, um by chance, to be honest with you, by chance. My whole past was completely different. I originally come from Iran. Um, I came to UK 30 years ago. The plan was I came with my sister. The plan was to get education, go back home. Iran is a developing country, and things like engineering are big. There are a lot of women do engineering back home. Whereas when I came here to go to university, I was the only girl in university and 300 boys. My dad was an engineer. He was a very high up senior engineer advising government by the time I think we came to UK. And I think it was just the thing to do. I knew I was going to go back home and through my dad get work. But I came here, fell in love, got married, had kids, and I lived in Edinburgh. And in Edinburgh, engineering wasn't really engineering. There's no engineering in Edinburgh. And because by then I was dating, I didn't really want to leave my boyfriend then. So I ended up staying in Edinburgh. And then I ended up working in the financial sector because that's what Edinburgh is good at, especially at the time. So it wasn't really planned. Um, and obviously once I became a mom, um, then my whole direction changed because I couldn't really work full time anymore. I worked part time. While I was pregnant with our first child, my husband started his own business. And after maternity leave, I went to work with him. And one of the things I did was a lot of networking. I went to networking events. And I met a lot of interesting people, a lot of interesting women, and that made me brave enough to start my own business. But I went into retail um, right before recession or right in the middle of recession. Because recession was 2008, and I think I opened a ladies' wear boutique in Edinburgh, in West End, in 2009. And I had the boutique for 2 years, and I had to close my door.
Yeah.
If I hadn't closed, I was going to go bust anyway. It was at the beginning of iPad coming. Internet shopping was really picking up. People like my mom who didn't know how to work a computer, all of a sudden they could just go online, shop with iPad. Things changed. There was no way I could compete. And if you know much about Edinburgh, at the time, especially in the west end of Edinburgh, we had the tram work going, we had the gas work going, we had the roadworks going. So I remember there is about 6 months nobody was coming even to the area.
Uh,
It was really soul destroying. Um, I remember for 5 days the only person I would see was the postman. And if you wake up in the morning and you don't want to go to work and it's your own business, it's time to quit.
Absolutely. So what did you do to help help you keep going whilst you develop that exit strategy, whilst you
Um, do you know, it wasn't planned like that. I've realized through the years, I do have one personality that a lot of people might struggle with, and is my ability to let go. Um, when I decide this is not working anymore, I can let go and
Mm,
walk away. I don't get really hung up and I don't get really attached to things like that. I'm lucky. It's not something that I work on. It's only through going through consultancy, business coaching courses, and things like that. I've realized I do have that ability, and it
mm,
just doesn't come natural to other people. I wanted to make money. I wanted to have financial freedom, and I couldn't do it through retail. So it was time to quit because if I had gone bust, it would have put us in a more
mm.
difficult situation. But obviously, when I left, once you're self-employed, no one wants to recruit you. So for the first time in my life, I didn't have a job for 6 months, and I had to go to job center and sign up. And I think they had a day where they talked about home care. And I think by pure chance, I was also speaking to um, a couple of elderly people the week before, our neighbors. And they asked me, Melody, why don't you go into care? You can make a lot of money in care. And I said, I know
Mm.
nothing about care. And they said, well, I think you should go and learn it because it's going to be huge in the future. And then the week after, Job Center had this day, and that's just how it started. But as opposed to starting my own business, I went and worked as a carer for a while because I knew nothing about the sector.
Mm.
I didn't have any um, elderly people around me who were poorly, who needed care. Nothing. I knew nothing about the sector. So I went and became a carer just to see what it's all about. So
And,
that's
and
how it started.
and what was it that you learned whilst you were working for other people that allowed you to create your own unique brand when you started your own business?
Honestly, I learned a lot about my own personality. Um, I learned that I don't like to be told what to do. I learned that I am not very good at sitting down and being given a task and do it to the best of my ability. I learned that my attention to details is not as good as some other people. And I was just not enjoying working for other people. In fact, the fact that even I opened the shop was because in my last job, I worked for a financial company that the culture there was, for me, it was really bad. It didn't suit me at all. And when I walked away, I thought I'm going to make sure I start a business. At the time, I was going to work for my husband, and I don't want this culture in any of the businesses that I work in. I learned that I'm a very good planner. I'm a very good visionary. I am very good at getting the best out of people and motivating people. But give me a long document to read. I get bored. I can't concentrate. I find it difficult. So usually, if it's something important like a contract or something, that's a different situation. But when I went into care, I basically had my staff. I am good at delegating. I recruit people because of their strengths and all the things I'm not good at. I recruit people who are good at it and they do the work. So I have learned I have learned what I'm good at and what I can bring into the business and who do I need to recruit to take it to the next stage. So I think that was a massive learning curve. I was lucky actually to find that out. I think it's important to know what you're not good at as well as what you're
Mm.
good at. And I am not very I don't think I'm not selfish. I don't have very high ex- I don't think of myself very highly. I see it for how it is, and I think as a business owner, it's really important to know what you're like, because then you can work as a team and bring the people that you really need into the business. So I think
So,
that was a massive learning curve for me.
so you've set about building your own business,
Hmm.
and you've obviously had a number of experiences working for other
Hmm.
people. You've discovered that you need um, particular people
Hmm.
around you to help complement your skills. But what is it that you have built into Malusha Home Care that sets you apart from other care providers?
That's a good point. To be honest, there's a lot of good care providers there. I'm not saying we are very different, but what we are very good at is not shying away from difficult work. You know, it's easy. Most people think, a lot of staff that we recruit, they think caring is just going and having a cup of tea with old people in their house, having a play there, all the fun things. They don't realize or they don't see all the difficult things, the complex issues, the people who are under oxygen or the people who are terminal, and the people who
Mm,
have a couple of days to go, or the diet is different, aggressive behavior, dementia, I would say as a company, we don't shy away from complicated, difficult work. If we get a client that we don't have the right skill set at the time, we are very good at partnering with, for example, their nurses and getting people into the company to train our team who are going to go and provide care to that particular person to learn the skills they need. Um, I would say in the past 8 years, we only rejected 3 clients, and that was because of health and safety and staff. There comes a point you need to draw the line. If your staff are going to
mhm,
get hurt, then it's a big no-no. But if the client is difficult for whatever reason, we don't hand the package back. We'll work with them. So
mm.
I would say um, that's what sets us apart. But we also pay everybody the same. I know some companies they charge more if a case is more complicated. We don't. We charge the same, we pay the same. Um, and I'm very, very big on people moving up the ladder. I don't want care to be a dead end job. There's room for moving up
Mm.
and making differences in people's lives.
So, so what sparked your decision to move from business owner of one healthcare company to
Mhm.
taking that across the country, franchising it?
I don't really remember how it came across. It was an idea that I always had, but I did want to expand the business, but to keep the service level and the quality of service to what it is, I think for care, franchising is the right way.
Mm,
Because in care, as a business owner, you need to care. You really need to, it's not a 9 to 5 job. Oh, sorry, my laptop is doing something. Um, it's not a 9 to 5 job. And you really need to be compassionate. You need to really care, not just for your clients, you for your staff as well, because you're only as good as your worst member of staff out there. So it really is important that you're on top of everything. And I think with care, if you get too big, you might lose that. personal touch. So the best way of expanding is by franchising because every area will have their own business owner who will be compassionate and caring for that
Mm,
area. I think if you grow too big, it becomes really difficult to manage.
mm.
And so that's really why I did it. I wanted to grow, but I knew to keep the quality of service, I couldn't do it on my own. Um, I think another reason is I think over the past few years, I've learned that I love people. I absolutely love working with people. Uh, in fact, I should have never done engineering. I should have gone into sectors that I was dealing with people. Um, Generally get on well with everybody. Um, and I really, really enjoy developing people. So if I come across a situation where I think I could have made a positive impact and I didn't, I couldn't sleep at night. So I am really proud when people come to me and I manage to direct them and push them to better themselves, especially if they didn't know if it was possible or
Mm.
if they didn't even know they wanted it.
Yeah.
So my franchisees, I think they're all like that. They're all like that. I don't think they thought they would start a business in care. So I really enjoy it. I'm really proud of that. And then developing their team and then watch them do good and watch them do better than I did. Oh, that's amazing. That's an amazing feeling. Yeah.
Fan- Fantastic. So what's been the biggest challenge you faced in moving from the world of owning your own discrete business
Mhm.
to now running it as a franchise and having lots of business owners who are dependent on
Um,
you?
in terms of franchising, we're still new, so we're not really the biggest. So to be honest, I think the challenges I'm yet to face, the biggest ones. But I would say if you come on franchise with me or anyone, the reason you're coming is because you want to start a business, but you need the support of people who are experts and have done it before, and they can teach you a thing or two. You
Mm,
need the support to make it successful. So I suppose at the moment, although we're very tiny still, the biggest challenge is just pick up the phone and ask for help. You're paying us money every month. Why am I hearing about your struggles 3 weeks after? Why
yeah.
did you not pick up the phone day one? So trying to grill that at the moment into them. But I know what it's like as a new business, as a new business owner, you're the cleaner, you're the recruiter, you're the motivator, you're the leader, you're doing everything, you're the organizer. Sometimes at the beginning, you're even the carer. Um, you're wearing too many hats, and sometimes you just so caught up in the situation that you forget. But it's just trying to drill into them that the reason you came a franchise with us, and the reason you're working with us is, and you're paying us every month is to get our help. So where you struggled for 3 weeks, I could have given you an answer in 10 minutes. So at the
Yeah.
moment, our biggest challenge is that. But I am sure this is nothing compared to what we're going to face in the future.
Yeah. And where is it that you're going? Where
Um,
when we look at Malusha home care in 10 years' time, what are we going to see?
I would like to have more branches. I would like to have a bigger team in the head office because at the moment we're a small team. It would be I look forward to recruiting more people who bring new ideas to the network, who bring new skills that we don't have to the network. I find that really exciting. Um, I can't wait to get bigger so I can justify getting an office again because at the moment we're all working from home and I don't really like working from home. Uh, but yeah, so just bigger and very, very supportive. So in terms of franchising, we don't have any hidden costs. What we agree at the beginning is what you pay. Um, and, there is a lot we can do for that money. There's a lot of support we can provide. We only need to earn so much. The rest needs to go back to the network and just keep investing. And uh, I just want to see our team getting bigger, um, and better. I think in 10
Mm.
years' time, uh, God knows where we're going to be in 10 years' time. But in our first year, we recruited 6 branches. So if we do that every year,
Yeah.
that would be amazing. I don't want to be necessarily the biggest network, but I want to be I want to provide the best support, and I want my franchises to be as good as they can, quality of their work.
Yeah. And what's if you had to look back over the journey you've been on so
Mm.
far, what's the one piece of advice you'd give your 18-year-old self starting out?
Oh God, it's very difficult because my 18-year-old self was in a very different culture from here. But if I knew better, I would have maybe gone to university doing something human related as opposed to engineering.
Mm.
I did it, I passed it, I've got the certificate to show for it. I was always very good at maths and physics. So it was a natural thing, I think, for me to do. But I think I just love working with people. I get excited to go to work. I'm really sad. I go on holidays and I can't wait to get back. Um, and I think as I'm getting older, my holidays are getting shorter and shorter. I now think 5 days is enough. After 5 days, I'm itching to go back, to go to work. So I love it. It's not just my work, it's my life, it's my hobby. I really enjoy it. So maybe if I had started it sooner, if I worked with people from the age of 18, you never know.
Yeah. No, well, it's lovely to see the passion
Yeah.
flowing from you. And yeah, I mean, with an attitude like that, I can see exactly why people would want to come and franchise with you. But yeah,
Yeah.
thank you very much for sharing those thoughts,
Thank you.
and the very best of luck for the future. We'll look forward to seeing Malusha Home Care all over the place.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much.